Hello there. Before we go any further, I'd like to first of all let everyone know that I can only record this video for 10 minutes. This broadcast will only last 10 minutes. You people have no light, so I have to go. 10 minutes is all I have. Okay, so let's make the best of it. How ridiculous does that really sound? Those were the words of our president when he was in Jos after the attacks um, about a week ago. It makes you wonder, why did he even bother, really? He would have been better off sending someone. He should have sent somebody else. But when you look at it, I have I've never actually seen a president visit a state and then only stop at the airport and go no further. So it makes you kind of wonder, what is the reason for that? Could there be that there's something that they know that we don't know that was the reason why he stopped at the airport? Now, from the place where it happened, Anguan Rukuba to the airport, it's about, give or take, a 40-minute drive. So I think if you could make it to the airport, what stopped you? He said there was no power. You mean there was no way on God's green earth to power the airport, even with backup power? They couldn't do that, even if it was for one day? I mean, that sounds really ridiculous, really. So, like I said, could it be that maybe there was information that he had and he was scared to leave the airport? I know, president of this whole freaking republic, Federal Republic of Nigeria, shouldn't be scared of a bunch of skinny, hungry looking people with small arms, AK 47s. It's not like they have planes and uh, ballistic missiles. Or do they? Like I said, maybe there's something that they know that they weren't telling us. If not, why would the president be? Well, he didn't say he was scared. I'm just looking at because the whole thing doesn't really make sense. So maybe he was scared to go there. And besides that, before that happened, the governor went to the scene of the massacre, and he went there in an armored vehicle. Now, everyone knows that just about every state governor rides around in a bulletproof vehicle. Their official vehicles are all bulletproof. Everyone knows that. So, once again, do these guys have ballistic hypersonic missiles or something that, maybe they have armor piercing weapons? And that's why the governor had to go there in a armored vehicle, an armored personnel carrier. That wasn't a good look for him, I must say. It wasn't at all. And it does portray him as scared, which, even if he is human, I mean, you're in a leadership position, you shouldn't be seen as scared, but that's what he looked like. This wonderful country of ours. And at the end of the day, after this episode is over, in less than 2 weeks, everybody moves on, and this is going to be a forgotten episode. Just watch, that's what's going to happen. What an Easter it's been. Attacks in various parts of the country, attacks in Jos, attacks in southern Kaduna, attacks in Benue, among other places. They're not letting up, are they? I find it so funny when people start talking about sovereignty while our sovereignty has actually been ceded to terrorists. And every time this happens, in most cases, nobody apprehended. The most worrisome part is even when they make it clear, like before these attacks in Jos, there were lots of videos making the rounds, people making threats and saying they were going to do this and that. And exactly what happened was exactly what they threatened they would do. Now, I spoke to a law enforcement agent who told me that some arrests had been made, but I don't know if it's the more prominent ones because there's some of these people that have quite a following who are influencers who are still out there making videos now after having made threats before the attacks. Now, I don't know if they're making videos from detention, but I don't think it's possible to make a TikTok or Instagram video from a cell. Now, is it? I don't think so. Which leads me to believe that as we speak, a lot of these people are free and nothing has happened to them. If it were another group of people, you can imagine what would have happened. Imagine what would happen if a bunch of people from the Southeast came and threatened another group of people and said, after Lent, we are going to do this and do that. We're going to eliminate as many of you people as we can. We're going to do something that will make you regret, threats basically about taking lives. And then it happens. What do you think would have happened by now? Watch this video where it was very well put. I couldn't have said it better myself, which is why I'll let you watch the video. She said it better than me.
I have watched what is going on around our country with pain. At the age of 63, I believe I have become a mother in this nation and can speak to this nation. I have never spoken to our present president, but I will speak to you today, sir. The government is failing us. I look at what is going on in Jos, what is going on in Benue, what is going on in Kwara, what is going on all over the country, and I'm worried. I am pained. There is a dichotomy I see. Two standards I see. I see one standard for the north and another standard for the south. Whenever a few Igbo boys have gotten angry and acted or reacted, they send Air Force, Navy, and military to go and stop them. They take armored tanks to the east. But we see Fulani boys stand and speak on the internet. They say anything, do anything, and nothing moves. Instructions are given for nobody to move. Well, Nigeria belongs to all of us. God put us here. No man put us here. Christians and Muslims. My mother told me before she passed that these things we are agitating for, they have been agitating for them since they were children, and nothing changed. This platform, God has given it to me for a purpose.
Meanwhile, after all the attacks, instead of people to, have a more reconciliatory tone, all I keep hearing is I see all these posts. Some people are saying, how do you know it was us? Now, by us, meaning people from their religion. How do you know it was us? You guys keep blaming us for everything. It's because you hate us. You hate us, so you keep looking for a reason, this and that. People draw the line in the sand as soon as something happens. And I keep saying this. These people are terrorists. Never mind what any government official who really doesn't see things really isn't at par with the common man because he's not feeling it. That's the truth. He's a stakeholder who's not feeling it. Never mind what they say. They can call them their brothers all they like. These people are not your brothers. It doesn't matter if you think you practice the same faith as them. They are not your brothers. If they catch you, you had better have the ransom money in your back pocket because they don't matter. It doesn't matter to them what direction you face when you're saying your prayers. You will get the same treatment. most of the time. You'd be very lucky to not get the same treatment from them. They are not anyone's brothers. Never mind what that man said. Who knows why he said that? But what he said does not apply to the ordinary Nigerian. Terrorists are not your brothers. So do not, on the basis of religion, believe for 1 second that they are. You've been following the events of the war in the Middle East. You'll know that an F-15 U.S. Fighter jet was downed over Iran the other day, and there are two crew members in the plane, and they both ejected. One was rescued immediately, and it took a while. The other was rescued eventually, but it took a while to get him. It took some days. Now, meanwhile, in that time, the Iranians were looking for him. To make a long story short, the Americans went in there with more men, more aircraft, did what they had to do, got into a firefight, and eventually rescued their man. Now that takes me to what I wanted to mention. Not too long ago, there was an incident in the Northeast, which is, of course, a theater of war. We like to pretend that that's not the case, but Nigeria is actually at war with terrorists. Yes. And a senior military officer, I think his name was Uba or something like that, was caught out there in enemy territory, which is also our territory, because this fight is actually on our own home soil. There was no rescue effort, no reinforcements, no backup, and eventually the terrorists caught him and slaughtered him, and they made sure they made a meal of it. Now juxtapose the two situations. The Americans over hostile enemy territory, an enemy that has been proven to be no pushover. Yet they went in there, did what they had to do, and they got their man out. Just one person. But Nigeria wouldn't do it on our own soil. They wouldn't do it, or couldn't do it, in any case. And it's happened a number of times when our military personnel get ambushed by terrorists and no backup is provided to salvage the situation, and they get slaughtered. Is this how they're going to keep dying? Anyway, that's another story. So I just wanted to compare the two. As a matter of fact, I saw, it's not often that you see a news anchor getting emotional. But this morning on Rise TV, I saw one of the anchors get really emotional over this matter. Just watch this.
Look at the military officer, 109,000. Dr. Bati, go no further. You were saying how they rescued the fighter pilot, was a colonel, was a redneck, top officer, colonel. You know what America did? America decided to blow up another F-15 Eagle over $100 million. On the rescue mission alone, America spent close to $500 million just to get this man out. They sent 2 other planes, they sent an Hercules, they sent 2 helicopters, Pedro 11 and Pedro 12, to act as buffer shields to be able to rescue this man.
Rescue one.
Dr. Bati, I feel like crying this morning. General Uba in the bush had low battery. He had low battery. And he made a message out that please come and save me. General Uba was never saved.
General in Nigeria.
Brigadier General. General Uba was never saved. The next thing we heard was that the bandits got him. And they killed him. Remember how General Uba's wife had to cry that we let General Uba down.